Welcome to Gold and Black Live, and it is our September 30th edition, the day before Purdue takes on Minnesota. I think about the third or fourth day of basketball practice. I can't think of two better guys to kick off the show than two of Purdue's all-time basketball greats. Of course, E'Twaun Moore and Rob Hummel need no introduction. And they may want no introduction. I don't know if they're here, but we're glad they're here. We want to also thank Triple X on the Hill, but on the level of Purdue tradition since 1929. And of course, State Farm agent Trent Johnson at trentismyagent.com. All right, guys. We're here to talk about an event, and a very important event. And we're both. Ray Davis has done a lot of things, and the world of college athletics has changed just a smidgen since you guys were played for the Boilermakers. But a great event. October 13th, Crew for Life Foundation being the benefactor at Mackey, not at Mackey Arena, but at the Shively Press Box. I'll start with you, Rob. I know the details about that, but just how did you guys have done this event a couple of times over the years, but how did this all come to pass?
Yeah, I mean, I was involved in the Fort Wayne version of this with that Ryan Kay helps Raphael Davis kind of put on. Ryan Kay's been in charge of the Purdue TBT.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got involved. But I think it's a great event. Raphael has done a lot raising money for kids in Fort Wayne, and he's done so much for the community. And at the same time with NIL, now with the Boilermaker Alliance, it's a really good partnership, I think, to get some of our players into a competitive field for NIL stuff. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. And both Raphael and Ryan have done a great job putting these events together.
Yeah, Ryan Kay is the Pied Piper of some of this stuff.
Yes, yes.
It's just amazing, and he does it in a very good way. E'Twaun, lending your name to this and the importance of that, just the fact that, it's for you, maybe not getting, you don't get maybe it is back as much as Robbie does, but what does it mean to you to, again, to support the Boilermaker Alliance, and the fact that you have names like Rob Hummel, E'Twaun Moore, and a guy named Drew Brees makes a big difference in conjunction with what Ray Davis is putting on?
Oh yes, I've been always stayed in touch with those guys, and I've been hearing about the great job they've been doing with staying in touch, and the Alliance been doing great job just keeping everybody in sync, and connecting with the alumni as much as possible, which is needed. Which definitely is needed. So once they gave me the call, I was definitely excited. Like, it's a great way to come back, stay connected, give back, and hopefully help some others along the way. For me, I've been playing the last 11 years, so it's been kind of tough for me to get back to some events and come back and show face. So this is a great start. This year probably when we're playing ball. So this is a great way to start. To come back, try to stay connected with the Boilermaker family.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes for exactly what you guys are talking about. That's the family that goes back to the Gene Katie days, but it's really been put in full motion by the job that you guys have done, kind of keeping that together. And is that a definite? You still would take a phone call about playing E'Twaun, would you not?
We got breaking news here.
Yeah, this will be a first for this show.
Yeah, I'm still in good shape now. I know I still can go, but I don't know. You just never know. It's not official. I never know. I get a call in a couple months, it's a possibility, that I'll go and play. But, for right now, not anything going on. So, I'm just enjoying, life at home.
But you are in shape, is what you said, though. You're ready to go if it would happen.
For me? Yeah. Yes. I'm in decent shape. Yeah, I'm in decent shape. I ain't top-notch shape, I might need a couple weeks.
That's what training camp's for. That's what training camp.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta call.
We gotta tell Mark Barlstein to get on it. He's got to make
I know. Man, this could have been a first for this show if you'd announced that you just signed a contract, but that would kind of fly in the ointment of the October 13th event. You have to do it after October 13th. That's what the deal is. I'm sure that's top of mind awareness. So, Robbie, you in this situation, and obviously Matt Painter's putting together a basketball team. I've heard you talk on the many platforms you're on, but this team has got some Purdue. I'm talking about, obviously, has got some. They're into their first week of practice. Didn't it used to always be October 15th? I know
the magical date.
But anyway, this is a young team with some young guys. They need scores, which that number 33 and number 4 would come in handy a few years removed. But what do you know about this group, and what do you think? I mean, this has got there are good players there. They just
there are. The front court is terrific. I think the front court's as deep as any Purdue team that we've seen. And it starts with Zach. He's going to get the ball as much as he wants. I think he'll play as much as he wants, as much as he's able, with foul trouble and fatigue. Then you look at the other guys, Mason Gillis, Caleb First, Trey Kaufman-Renn. That's a really good group to build around. Maybe one where you're like, where will the minutes all go?
Yeah.
But there are more question marks with the guards. Can the freshmen step up? Is it going to be Braden Smith at the point? Is it David Jenkins at the point? Is Fletcher Lawyer a guy that's going to start from day one? Is Brandon Newman ready to maybe step back into that role? There's a lot of question marks for the Purdue backcourt, and that's really going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm sure it's a different deal every day, and I think that's what's always so interesting about the preseason is things can fluctuate and ebb and flow, but consistency always pays off, and we'll see who is the most consistent guy and ends up being in that starting role.
Yeah, and each one.
I'm about to see. That's why Rob will commentate. See, he's a professional, man. So he broke that down really good, really well.
Man, now, if I wasn't, I'd be in trouble because this is my job.
Hey,
so.
Yeah, no, each one. Now
we want down really well.
We want you to tell it like it really is. Now, Robbie's doing.
I gave the fluff piece. Now the real breakdown.
But no, I was just going to digress to my. And not to put too much of a fanboy hat on, two of my favorite moments, obviously Rob's block shot against Wisconsin your freshman year, and each one, the performance you put on in front of Michael Jordan at Illinois.
Yes.
A lot of people don't talk about that, but that to me, the second half of that game, there was just no stopping. I mean,
what did you have? 26?
Was it 28?
Oh, he knows how many.
Sold it 28.
Yeah,
he knows exactly how many. Yeah,
man,
I think it was 28. I think it was 28.
Yeah, it was 28.
My question is for you, Etuan, is just what freshmen that come in, and obviously the makeup of this team is different than when you guys, the four of you, were together as freshmen. I get that, but just what that mindset has to be coming in as a freshman. That maybe it's Fletcher Lawyer, Braden Smith, two guys that I think are going to see a lot of time this year. But tell me about what that's like, and you were a stone cold assassin that day, as I recall. You brought that with you to Purdue, though.
Right. Yeah, I feel like just confidence. Confidence from day one, confidence knowing that you belong, confidence knowing that you can step in and play, and just having that confidence. I think that's first and foremost, believing in yourself and believing that you can go out there at the next level and perform at a high level. But like Rob said, he broke it down very well. The front court is so good that for those guards coming in, I think they should be thinking just come in and be solid. They don't have to save the day or be heroes. With all the support they have around them. So I think as long as they had a confidence, man, just come out, play solid. Start off, just trying to be a good teammate. And start off, just trying to do the simple things to win. Because they got talent around them. So I think everything else take care of itself.
All right, I'm going to be in search of more breaking news because I heard Rob talking yesterday, I think on XM, about the 5 top venues, and he wouldn't mention Purdue. Well, he did say Purdue.
Well, I said
if you had to pick it'd be 1 or 2, which is absolutely true. But I wanted to just talk, and each one, I know you've been back. You haven't been back as much, obviously, because you had a pretty good day job. That venue at venue at Mackey Arena is. It was pretty dang good when you guys were playing. When you dropped 38 or 39 or whatever it was against Ohio State was as good as it gets. And Robbie, you had so many moments at your time there. But talk about that and just the way that now that has developed almost, in my view, almost to the Wrigley Field of college basketball, at least in the Big Ten, a place now where you actually, if you're driving down the interstate and you're a college basketball fan, you want to drive to Mackey to actually just see it. Is that a fair assessment of how much it's continued to morph? I mean, it's always been a great place, but it's just even more right now. Rob, I'll start with you, Rob.
Oh, you want to start with Rob? Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's crazy. Remember the video game when Etuan and I were in school, we had NCAA basketball 09 or 10 or whatever. That was the last one. but they rated the stadiums. And if your stadium was ranked in the top 25 in terms of atmosphere, during free throws, you could like hit L2 and R2 and like it would shake.
And it vibrate.
And we weren't even in the top 25.
Really?
And like Illinois was and Michigan State was. And it's like, it wasn't even considered in the game a top 25 atmosphere. And I think for us, we were like, well, our atmosphere is better than probably everyone we've gone to, except for maybe when we went to Indiana, and that was comparable. So I just think that maybe the level of respect has risen. I don't think, I think it's gotten better, not a ton better, but it's always been great.
Yeah.
But I think the national level of respect is what has grown so much. And now everybody knows it. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like Purdue games weren't on TV.
No doubt.
But now, for whatever reason, it gets the respect it deserves.
Yeah. Etwan, you played in so many venues over the years, and the NBA is a different type of animal, so to speak. But put that in perspective, just what Mackey and what you hear and see from your colleagues that you've played with and friends that may not be Purdue people that talk about Mackey.
Yes, you're right. That's exactly what I was about to say. To piggyback a little bit off of Rob said.
Yeah.
Purdue always had, great fans, one of the best sports arenas that I've been to. I remember going to games when I was in high school and was amazed by it. I'm like, wow, man, I wish I could play in something like this one day. I was amazed. Everyone was excited, going crazy to support. Just the buzz. I would say the difference maybe, just even talking from my colleagues being in the NBA, like Josh Hart, they national title contenders. And, I played with him in New Orleans. He would talk about how crazy it was when he went to Purdue. Gary Harris, just a few of the guys, that made it to the NBA, played at high levels, but, they definitely remember playing in Mackey and, just the effect that it had on them. And everyone definitely respected it. But I think just the success, especially over the last 10 years that Coach Painter has had, has definitely made the respect level rise, a ton. So that goes to show the job as well as that Coach Painter's been done. He's been consistent throughout the years. Getting his team to play hard, getting his wins, and making us a national household name. So I give a lot of credit to him as well.
Yeah. Speaking of that guy, Coach Painter, now, and again, I know the practices have changed.
Yeah, no
just
kidding.
Because of how much they work out. You guys did too, but what is he? I mean, he can be. I know he's not that friendly guy we see walking down the street all the time. He can be nasty. How hard was he? I mean, you guys came in with expectations, but you had to assimilate into a program. I don't know. I'm not asking you to tell me the dark side, but those practices are hard early on with him from time to time. Would that be a fair statement? I'll start with you, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, I do think so. I think they were harder back in 2007 than what they are maybe. And the game has changed for sure. And I think Coach Paint, as he's gotten older, I don't want to say wiser, because he was a really good coach when we were there too, but he's evolved. And I think the kids have changed too. But with that being said, I went to Purdue, and I want to say, I don't want to speak for each one, but I think he would agree with this. I didn't pick Purdue so that Coach Painter would be my friend. Yeah. Now, is he our friend? Yes. And I'm very thankful that he is now. But he coached us hard, and he made us better. We all improved every year. And, I don't think I make the NBA without playing for a guy like that. So I think that maybe the time has changed, and he was certainly hard on us, but he was always fair. There was not a moment I felt like where he's like, well, he's being unfair. So I think that the game has kind of changed, but practices this is the typical former player. It was so much harder when I played.
Oh yeah. It's true. It's true statement. It's true statement. Etwan, I mean, he could never have gotten mad at you, because I always said you were the perfect basketball player. I mean, you just did everything, made it all look easy, and we just watched you play, and you just did your thing. Now, did you ever have your moments with the coach early on where and if so, how did you deal with that as a young person?
My first 2 years, we had a lot of moments. but it was in practice. Yeah, we had a lot of moments. Well, I don't say a lot, just a few. For me, it was definitely a different animal, different beast. I was just used to playing basketball every day. That's all I knew, and that was it. I wasn't doing no hard drills, wasn't lifting weights, wasn't running miles or anything like that. So the physical part definitely was a challenge for me. Um, but the thing is, after a while, I knew that Coach Painter, had my best interests at heart. I never wavered that. I always believed in him. So I knew if he was doing something, he had it was a rhyme and reason to it. He wasn't just doing it just to be, a jerk or to be mean or be spiteful. I knew it was for a reason. I knew he was trying to get me better. But obviously, did I like everything? No, like the running. The Rob can tell you now, running, the
Oh
run thing,
man, the
distance,
Oh,
and
you
conditioning.
running
guys, yeah.
was not my thing. The conditioning was not my thing.
But you made
My
it
first,
through. But you made
yeah,
it
yeah,
through.
yeah. But that was like I said, it was early on, my first 2 years, and Coach he'd come talk to me, and we have some rough days, and he'd check on me and make sure everything is okay, and he tell me why he did it. Some days he'd be hard on me, won't call fouls for me or
That
something on
you know
purpose.
Yeah.
where I said
He
he
used
was
to do
always
that to
fair.
me all the time.
I take it back. He wasn't always fair as a ref. He would
That's
go
Yeah,
through
right.
the rap.
people as an official and see how you'd react. And which was, he was doing it for
Right.
good reason, but sometimes he was
Mhm.
not fair as an official.
Yeah,
Ah,
he's
that's
he's
interesting.
definitely trying to make us mentally stronger, and
Yeah.
it worked. It definitely worked. We definitely didn't waver. And we didn't disagree, but it definitely made us stronger, and it definitely helped. But yeah, the practices were pretty tough. I look back now. Sometimes you look back, you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. No, it was. It's a lot harder than my NBA practice. My NBA practice is a lot easier.
No doubt. No doubt
All
on
right,
that.
we have now established that in 2007 it was a lot harder than it is in 2022. Guaranteed.
Agreed.
We have confirmed that it is a truism. We know that. All right, one football question only because you got the KK Kawan short. Purdue could use him tomorrow when it plays
Yeah.
Minnesota. I love watching you guys play in high school. I still think that KK should have played a little college basketball, but I don't
We
know
could have used
how
him.
much Purdue football you've been watching, Etwan, but Purdue's got a big challenge tomorrow going up to Minnesota in a venue where Minnesota's hot. They've got
Right.
seem like they can do it all. But your knowledge of Purdue football, what do you see from not only from this year's team, but also just watching the Boilermakers over the years?
Yeah, first of all, yeah, K1, that's my boy.
Yeah.
That's my brother. We more like brothers than friends. We grew up,
Yeah.
since we
He was.
very young.
Oh yeah.
I follow Purdue football. That's all the sports.
Yeah.
I'm not playing, so I can bet on the games. I had a bet on
Yeah.
the first game against Penn State.
Hey, that line has
Uh,
jumped. If we could break news, if you knew if Aiden O'Connell was playing tomorrow, we'd be all set. But
I didn't
we
know
don't
if
know
I
the
had
answer to that. I think it's up to 12 now. So, no, what I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's fine. But yeah, the program, yeah. Every game lost this year I watched, we was in it. We actually was up, and ended up letting the league go. But our skill guys are very good. I like the quarterback; he's pretty consistent. Just got to be a little bit more disciplined. It's a little bit more discipline. We get
Yeah,
a lot
that'd
of
help.
penalties
That would help.
and little things, that make the difference in the game. But those guys got a lot of talent, So like I said, as long as they get a little bit more discipline, I think they'll be okay. But Minnesota tough, but anything is possible. Got a great coach, and some talented players. So anything possible.
Rob, in your job with being a basketball analyst, but you get on some of these shows where you got to talk football, and I know you know sports, and so it's not a hard thing to do. Give me some expert or just a breakdown of what you see from Jeff Brom's team. Yeah, they need that quarterback to play. They need to stop stupid penalties. All true, but college football is you never know. It seems like Jeff Brom's teams have performed pretty well on the road of late.
Yeah, and I thought what Etwan said was so true. The penalties, like you mentioned, and certainly the quarterback play is important. I am a bit worried because it seems like Minnesota can beat you in so many different ways.
Yeah.
That was the best I've seen Tanner Morgan play quarterback wise
Yes.
last weekend at Michigan State. I mean, he was slinging that thing all over the place. And what was it? Chris Ottman-Bell was his first game out for the year, and they still, I mean, those guys
Didn't
were
matter.
flying around. I don't know if it's Michigan State was that bad or, Minnesota's pretty good, but then you also think about the running back. Ibrahim is a beast.
Load. Yeah.
So you got to load up on him, but then your DBs have got to do their job. And really that's concerning because of the way we defended against FAU. So that's my football analysis there.
All right.
Me and Tom breaking down the football squad.
Their road play has been really good, but that last 25 seconds at Syracuse needed some work. So I'll put that on. All right, Etuan, I'd be remiss in not asking you because you are, I think the hurricane has passed overhead. You're in Orlando right now. Give us just what has that been like for you? And it's not an easy situation for anybody as they still uncover what has gone down here in the last 24 hours.
Oh yeah, I got fortunate. I've been in the South for a while. I've been in New Orleans and Florida, but I got fortunate. This is my first hurricane.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely not fun. It's been some, a lot of wreckage. A lot of flooding, a lot of high winds, a lot of rain. But I got fortunate that in my area that I'm fine. Nothing happened, but but yeah, it's been crazy. But like I was telling Rob earlier, I was asking some of my neighbors and some of my Florida friends, like, man, what y'all do to prepare? What should I do? Should I board up? Should I put stuff in? What should I do? And they was just always reassuring me, oh, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be okay. Just make sure you don't leave anything outside. But they say it's only a category 1. They say it's a good one to get your feet wet with. So get my feet wet with a category 1. Like now I don't know about that. But like I said, I don't think there was any casualties in Central Florida, so that was good. But it was definitely some wreckage, and but everything's passed. It's all passed by now, so hopefully everything recover well.
Yeah, I think there'll be more to this story and a difficult one at that. Rob, you're heading down there. You spent some time, obviously, travel a lot of different places. You're going down there next week. You'd said, I think, off air that hopefully we'll all be clear up for that. But are you a weather guy? I mean, it's interesting, and I'm not making light of any of this, but it's like I'd like to know what CNN's ratings go through when these events happen, because you really can end up being glued to the TV about what's going on. I mean, are you that type of consumer from a I know you don't have a lot of time always to sit in front of the TV, but there's a lot going on in that.
I don't watch it on TV so much, but I definitely check the weather. I'm terrified of storms, bad storms. So I definitely check more so like tornadoes. If it's thunder,
me too.
Rain, I don't like that stuff, or I don't mind that.
What they don't move to Florida.
Yeah,
exactly. Then I got to avoid that, right?
They didn't have many tornadoes in Valpo, but actually they did. I mean, that was always scary growing up in Indiana. You guys in East Chicago too. It just made me nervous. So, all right, guys. All right, we've done weather, we've done football, but with the most important thing, we're hitting on October 13th, the event, and to support not only Ray Davis's Crew for Life, but also NIL at Purdue. Guys, I both owe you at least $10. I know one thing, because I think in 2009 they gave it to the media of all things. My son has a number 33 Purdue jersey, and my daughter has a number 4 Purdue jersey. So the check is in the mail.
It's a retroactive NIL here. Let's go.
And I am dang proud. I thought those jerseys were cool. I think it would have been one year they just gave them out to us. And I think it's when they're trying to promote the jersey sale. We will not broach that topic just tonight. We don't have enough time to do that. But we appreciate all you're doing. Not only, I appreciate your time joining us. Our star power went way up on this show. We didn't quite get breaking news about Etuan's return to the NBA. I understand. If you do that, let us know first, okay? And
all right, we'll do.
But thanks again so much, guys. We'll look forward to seeing you in town on the 13th, and the work that you guys are doing, very, very important, not only to NIL, but what Ray Davis is doing is really important stuff. And he is if Ryan Kay is one of the Pied Pipers in Fort Wayne, Ray Davis is definitely the other. He's doing some great work for kids that really need it, and making a big difference. And as a Boilermaker basketball alum that you both are, you're proud of your brother Ray Davis for all he's doing. It's a big deal. So guys, thanks again so much. Appreciate your time. We'll be back in 2 minutes. I don't know if we'll have as much fun in the next segment, but we'll carry on the best we can. Guys, thanks again, and we'll be back in 2 minutes on Gold and Black Live.